Hi, I'm Keith.
And Alan. Today we'll be pitching the stock Enviva. Envivia is the leading global energy company specializing in sustainable wood bioenergy. It is the world's largest producer of sustainable wood pellets, which provides a low carbon alternative to fossil fuels. For power generation, Envivia's sustainable wood pellets provide a more reliable and dispatchable energy source that complements the intermittencies of wind and solar energy, ensuring a stable grind while helping global energy producers sustainably reduce their carbon emission by 85%.
Industry overview. Enviva is in the renewable energy industry, specifically the biomass wood pellet industry. Alternative renewable energy includes wind, solar, nuclear, and hydro. In 2019, the global wood pellet market size is estimated at $8.8 billion. It is expected to have a 9.4% compound annual growth rate until 2027. Over the past decade, renewable energy consumption has had an annual growth of 13.7%. Mainly due to the introduction of long-term environmental policies and regulations being set across the globe to achieve the goals of the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement has been signed by 190 out of 193 countries. This has resulted in high demand for wood pellets. Consumption of wood pellets has increased by 144%, while coal consumption has decreased by 68% from 2012 to 2019. Furthermore, the conversion of coal-fired power plants to coal-fired or fully dedicated biomass power plants is much more cheaper, efficient, and quick compared to other forms of renewable energy such as wind and solar. With this, the reliability of wood pellets and its ability to reduce overall costs and meet environmental expectations make wood pellets extremely attractive to power plant generators.
Why you should invest in Envivia, you ask? The reasons why Envivia Partners is an equitable investment is because Envivia has a constant source of revenue from already established long-term contracts with customers. Envivia is the dominant player in the growing wood pellet market and provides for expansion opportunities with its ever-growing empire of bioplants. Envivia has a low variable cost in terms of wood dust supply and is able to sell it to the targeted demographic at a much higher margin.
Enviva implements the build and copy factory building model, which allows for highly efficient, large-scale production for the building of the facilities to be economized. With Enviva's high dividend yield, Enviva working as a partnership allows for individuals to pay lower taxes on dividends. Typically, dividend tax rates are 22% in the US. However, depending on the individual, they can pay anywhere from 0 to 22%. Competitive positioning. Enviva is currently the world's largest supplier of utility-grade wood pellets, accounting for 37% of the total production capacity of wood pellet plants in the US. And out of the total US production facilities under construction, 71% of that total capacity is from Enviva, which is to be done by the end of 2021. Using the build and copy method, it allows for higher efficiency, easier and greater scalability, and large-scale production plants. Being the world's largest supplier of utility-grade wood pellets, it makes Enviva extremely attractive due to its reliability and opportunities for growth. Whereas other wood production pellet plants in the world are owned by small businesses. Being located in the US allows for lower operating costs with a lower cost of raw materials. The cost of wood chips is more than 50% less compared to countries in Europe, Asia, and South America. The cost of fiber in North Carolina, USA has been stable, only having a 1.5% compound annual growth rate over the past 2 decades. Enviva's sources of raw materials are conveniently located close to its production facilities. Along with that, Enviva's plants are located near ports to ship their wood pellets globally. This results in lower transportation costs and a greater margin than other production facilities located in other areas. Enviva's operating margin for 2019 and 2018 averages at 6.9%. Compared to Pinnacle Renewable Energy, one of Enviva's larger competitors located in Canada, which averaged an operating margin of 3.7%.
The current stock price for Enviva is $47, and our targeted price is at $60. We seek an increase of a 28% return. We value this company at a P/E ratio of 20 derived from the distribution per common unit of $3. This is also equal to a yield of 5%, which is a very attractive yield in today's low interest rate environment. Now, people are getting a 6% yield, but because of competition, supply, and demand, more people buy the stock, which will push the yield down to a 5%. However, the 5% yield will still remain very attractive. Looking at Enviva's financials, it has substantially grown from 2019 to 2020. Enviva's revenue grew by 28%. The net income went from a 2.9 million loss to a $17 million in profit from 2019 to 2020. Furthermore, the EBITDA increased from 141 million in 2019 to 190 million in 2020. Enviva has the economic mode of having a high switching cost. When companies establish an agreement with Enviva, they are signing a long term of around 12 to 14 years of a take or pay contract that requires the partnering companies to pay for the wood pellets regardless if they decide to take the biomass or not, thus ensuring a secured income. If a company were to decide to switch to a different source of energy, the company still has to pay for the produced wood pellets for the duration of the contract, leaving them with a high switching cost. Enviva, dominating the biomass industry, has a cost advantage in comparison to other startup or miniature competitors. Enviva is able to source its wood pellets from an array of providers that gives Enviva more negotiating power and capacity in comparison with other competitors. In addition to having a lower cost of production, Enviva's high selling price towards its targeted demographic allows Enviva to have a higher margin profit, therefore having even more of an advantage in terms of margin. During 2018, in Martinique, Albima started to source its wood pellets from Enviva and completed the 40 megawatt Galion 2 power plant, the first large scale thermal power plant in the Caribbean, operating 24/7 and fueled entirely by biomass. The many established partnerships with Enviva and its various customers indicates clear relationships and distribution networks in comparison to other more insignificant biofuel providers.
Investment risk. Currently, the consumption of utility-grade wood pellets is used to oblige to low carbon regulations or for the financial incentives they receive. However, if government regulations that currently support biomass energy are adjusted, this would significantly impact Enviva's demand and business, as there will be no incentives for customers to use wood pellets. In 2021, a substantial part of Enviva's revenue will come from six customers. Five of them are located in Europe, with a small customer base accounting for a substantial part of Enviva's revenue and a geographical concentration. If its customers fail to pay Enviva according to their contract due to their financial situation or changes in the amount of product needed, this would result in a decrease in their expected revenue. However, as we can see on the chart on the right, Enviva is expected to enter the Japanese market in 2025, which would mitigate this risk. Currently, solar, wind, and hydropower are more expensive and less efficient than biomass energy. While nuclear energy is the cheapest, it creates a substantial amount of waste and is dangerous. However, if these problems are eliminated or reduced, demand for wood pellets would decrease, causing Enviva to have less sales and customers.
Enviva is managed and operated by the board of directors and the executive officers of the general partner. As a result of owning their general partner, Enviva's sponsor has the right to appoint all members of the board of directors of the general partner, at least three of whom must meet the independent standards established by the NYSE. Enviva stock/unit holders are not entitled to elect the general partners or its directors or otherwise directly participate with the management or operations. And down here we have two wonderful gentlemen. On the left we have John Kelper, and on the right we have Sha Evans. Both have very high positions in the company, and both have multiple experience in different companies and very high academic standards in economics. Mr. Kelper led Enviva Partners to its first initial public offering at the New York Stock Exchange on April 29, 2015, making it the very first publicly traded company in the industry.
Enviva is led and managed by a team with decades of experience in renewable energy, finance, manufacturing, and operations. Its qualifications and commitment to helping the environment reflect on the success and values of Enviva. By producing wooded pellets, it promotes environmental sustainability. Enviva carefully sources their raw materials, making sure they're sustainable, legally obtained, and has a positive impact on the environment. To support the environment even further, Enviva has donated and partnered with local organizations to promote sustainable forest management, conservation, and environmental education. Additionally, Enviva has a goal of achieving net zero greenhouse gas emissions in its operations by 2030. Moreover, Enviva is strongly committed to treating people with respect, dignity, and equal opportunities. Enviva expects the same commitment from its suppliers with Enviva's supply chain sustainability certifications. It holds its suppliers accountable to the International Labour Law Organization Declaration on Fundamental Principles and Rights at Work and the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.